Hey guys, Jano Zero, how you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land, whatever part of the world that you are in. All right, I figured we'd sit down and have a quick coffee chat and answer some questions and talk about some stuff. Holy crap, that's some good coffee, man. All right, I wrote down the last couple of days we've had quite a few questions come in, so I read them down and figured I'd talk about some of them a little bit, and hopefully this won't turn out to be too long and boring. It's been really cold here where I'm at, and I mean like way cold. It's been like well below the holy crap it's cold outside. We've been down in the really single digits as far as temperature goes, and the wind chills have been below zero, and we're getting some snow right now, and we are expecting, along with a lot of the eastern part of the country, a really significant snow event coming in this weekend. So hopefully all are ready for that and prepared, and everybody will weather this coming storm okay. You know, I do want to say right off the get-go that things, my personal belief is that our country and our whole country is coming into some hard times. So I just hope that everybody has taken enough foresight to set a little bit extra aside and to get a little bit extra. Please, by no means, don't put yourself into debt and don't, panic and do, that kind of stuff, because when you're panicking, you're making bad decisions. Don't do a holy crap, we got to get a whole bunch of stuff in. No, I would say go through your pantry or your shelves, your cupboards, whatever you keep your stuff in, and make an inventory of what you have and how long you think it'll last. And then if you are able to, on a weekly basis, just add a little bit something to that. And that's what I do. And when you do it, you would be surprised how much you can accumulate over, a couple of months of doing that. So that's, all right, we'll get that out of the way. Somebody asked, when are you going to trim your beard? Probably in the spring when it starts warming up. Right now, I didn't grow it because it makes me feel macho. I didn't grow it because that's the trendy, cool pop culture thing to do or whatever. I grew it because we're out in the weather a lot, most of the day, and it helps keep my face and my neck warm, and it serves a purpose like everything else that I have as far as my gear goes, whether it be the hat that I'm wearing on a particular day, days when it's snowing and sleeting and really cold, or raining. I wear a wide brim hat to help keep my head dry and warm. And in the wintertime, I grow a beard and wear winter coats. It's just all practical to me. I don't really care what pop culture is saying is cool right now. That's not why I do anything that I do. I do it because it's what works for me, and it helps keep me warmer when we're outside in the wintertime. So, somebody said when I was making my splitting wood or cutting wood video that I shouldn't make light of being fat because it's a really dangerous health situation, and so on and so forth, and I shouldn't be promoting fat and laziness and all that kind of stuff. I don't disagree that being overweight is harder on your health than being in perfect shape. I do disagree that fat people are lazy. There's not, all of us big dudes are not lazy. We're not all lazy laying around the couch getting fatter. Some of us are just big. So I very adamantly disagree that all fat folks are lazy and don't do anything all day long, because there's a lot of dudes who come out, especially in the summertime, from town over there to try to help us throw hay, and they can't keep up with me. A big fat dude, a lot of them, I can work them all day long into the ground. So just because I'm overweight and I'm a big guy doesn't mean that I'm lazy and don't have, the strength or whatever that some dude who's in perfect shape would be. So, while I agree that being overweight could have some difficulties on your health, I disagree that it all stems from being lazy and out of shape. Because even my doctor has told me that being a big fat guy, I'm in reasonably good shape, well, except for my blood pressure, which is now under control and being taken care of. Other than that, I don't have any other issues. So, there you have it. And I did read some of the comments about being fat, how they say, fat people are harder to kidnap and all that kind of stuff. We missed one of the most important ones. Me, being a large man, I can sit in my bathtub and comfortably soak and a nice hot bath, and it only takes like 3 tablespoons of water to fill it up. So there you go. There's another reason to be, somebody asked, how long do I think I can do this? And I've had that question asked before, and I don't think I understand. I don't really understand what that question means. How long will I live? I mean, because what I do is not, I mean, it's just it's my life. This is my lifestyle. This is what we do all day, every day. And it's not something that you grow old and retire from, because, I mean, you're still going to have critters, and you're still going to have to deal with, wintertime and all that kind of stuff. So if you're asking me how long do I plan on staying on my little home place here and living in the hills the way that I do, I'll do that as long as I can see above the dirt. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe I don't understand the question, and if that's not the answer that you're looking for, then maybe reword your question to what it is specifically that you're looking for. Because if you're asking how long I think I can homestead for, my answer is as long as I can see above the dirt. So, traps and trap line and hoops. I guess somebody in another video saw our traps that we have. These traps here are the ones you probably saw. These are what they call Conibear 110 traps. I have this bundle of traps here. These are for catching squirrels. We set these out amongst the trees and the fence rows and stuff. This is what we catch squirrels with when we're not having any luck hunting, because the traps will work all the time. And this is a killer trap. When something hits a trigger, it kills them dead. And there's not a whole lot of suffering or anything that goes along with it. That's the only reason that I have these Conibear 110s. I could catch, you can catch mink and muskrats and stuff like that. But I don't live in the river bottoms where muskrats are. And we don't have a lot of mink and weasels and stuff around here in my particular area where I live in southern Ohio. About what I use these for is, the only thing that I use these for is squirrels. It will catch a coon, but I wouldn't recommend it for coons. Any other trap line that I'm running other than squirrels, I will always use leg hold traps, because it doesn't hurt the animal. It may bruise their foot a little bit, but it's not going to hurt them to the point to where it's going to do serious damage. And if you catch an animal that's not a target animal, then you can pretty easily cover it up and catch it and turn it loose. I do not anymore run and maintain a trap line. Back in when I was younger, we did, because you could make a few bucks selling furs, but the fur prices nowadays, to me, is not worth running and maintaining a trap line to do all the work that it takes. It's a lot of work to run and maintain a trap line. It's a lot of work, especially if you have a big line. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time, and a lot of time skinning the animals and stuff like that. So I don't do that anymore, and it's just because you're not making anything for your time. It's not, I mean, the stuff that I do make, the stuff that I do catch, we'll usually make things out of the hides. We'll tan the hides ourselves and make things ourselves, and then we'll sell them or trade them for other things that we need. Having said that, somebody had asked also, do I have a website or a store where I sell things that we make? No. I don't make very many things. We only make things out of the furs and the hides that we get. So we don't have hundreds of deer skin, buckskins laying around that we make things out of. We use what we harvest during deer season, and we'll make things out of that. And most of the time, we'll sell them here locally or trade them here locally for other things that we need. So if there is a time that comes where I do have something extra that I will put up for sale, then I'll let you guys know in a video what it is. But I'm having some issues with some coyotes that I can't, we got coyotes that have been coming right up here on the creek by the chicken house. So I haven't been able to hunt them. I've hunted for them a couple times, but haven't had any luck in getting them. So I will probably at some point here get some number 2 or number 3 traps together and set a trap line, a couple of cubby sets up the holler, to try to catch them coyotes, because 1, I don't need coyotes down here that close to my chicken house, and 2, when the springtime comes and a pork chop has piglets running around, I definitely don't want coyotes running around in the same area that I have baby pigs, because that's going to lead to very bad things, and I'm just not going to have that. So those coyotes need to go. Whether I can get them hunted and shot, or whether I end up having to set a trap line for them up the holler. But when I do set them cubby sets, if you guys want me to make a video about it, I will. A lot of people disagree with trapping. They're very adamantly against trapping animals, but sometimes it's necessary when there's no other way. I mean, I'm not going to let them coyotes come in there and get all my chickens and my baby pigs and kill one of my goats or something like that. The coyotes are an issue. They're a problem. They can devastate your homestead if you don't get rid of them, or scare them off to the point to where they're not coming back. But that usually doesn't happen. Usually, if your place is in their territory, they'll be back. So again, there's going to be a lot of folks who don't like that and don't like the fact that I'll set traps, but I will do what I have to do to defend and protect my animals, because that is my family's food supply, and I'm not going to let some coyotes come in here and take that away from us. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. Okay, my stretching hoops. Somebody had asked about the hoops. Excuse me, I'm going to be right in the camera here for a second. These are what we use to stretch small hides on. This is just a couple of green sticks that we shape into a hoop, and then we do it. I try to stay as primitive as I can, so I even used, like whenever I put the mains together, I even used that ancient Indian electrical tape. I mean, it was Crazy Horse electrical tape, so that's what I used to bind them together. And then I have, of course, my long string. You place your hide in the center, and you do it the same way we did the big deer hide, just on a smaller basis. Remember in the video where I did the deer hide, we stretched it on a rack to dry. This works for rabbit hides, possums, minks, those kind of smaller animals. Maybe a small coon you could put on a small hoop like this. But that's what we use for stretching out the smaller hides. But we do it, it's the same thing as what you do a larger hide. It's just on a smaller scale. So I guess at some point in the video, somebody had saw the traps and the hoops and stuff hanging. So, but yeah, there's a couple of them that's got some hides stretched out on them right now. This here is a small. The last time that I went to Ona to get beef heads so that I could get the brains out of them, this was the hide that was left on the head. We try not to waste anything, even stuff that we get for free from a meat processor. This is going to be, hair-on cow leather. I don't know not quite sure what I'll do with it yet, but there's no sense of letting it to waste whenever I'm perfectly capable of stretching it, drying it, tanning it, and preserving it. So, but this is an example of some of the smaller hoops, how you can stretch the hides. And like I said, this is just the skin that was left on the head of a steer that they were butchering. And then when I brought the head home to get the brains out of it so that I could do some brain tanning on some buckskins, we went ahead and skinned it out rather than throwing it away. And it'll come in handy for something. We'll use it for something. So there you go. There's the hides, hoops, and my small traps. Again, if you want to see me set those number 2, number 3 leg hold traps for coyotes, let me know. It's going to be a very basic, just a regular basic cubby set. That's all that I'll set. I don't get fancy with anything. And there's a lot of dudes out there who are much better at setting traps than what I will ever be. So. But if you guys want to do it, and if the weather permits, when I'm doing it, then I will try to make a video about it. So let me know what you think. I guess that's it for now. We're going to get back out and get back after it this time of year. We're really busy. Water has to be busted up a couple times a day, and then we have to carry water out to give all the critters a drink. Don't mind doing it. It's just something that has to be done every day, so that the chickens and pheasants and the little chickies and the rabbits and pork chop and the goats and all of them have got liquid water that they can get a drink. We usually do it 3 times a day, in the morning, around noon, around lunchtime, and then in the evening again. So to make sure that everybody has plenty of hydration going on. And so somebody asked about the heat exchanger. How is it working? The new heat exchange is working awesomely. I don't know if that's a word, but that's how it's working awesomely. I'm glad to have it. Man, I thank you, David Young, very much for this thing. It has been a godsend. It is much more efficient in burning wood than the old barrel was. We have had our furnace kick on a couple of times when it's been really cold here these last few days, but nowhere near as much as what it would be on had we not had this. It is saving us money as we speak. And a lot of folks, what you need to remember, if a lot of folks say they want to move out to the country and live off the land and live in the hills, and that's great. If that's what you want to do, more power to you. Go for it. I would encourage everybody to give it a try. But keep in mind, if you depend on fire for heat like we do, well, we don't depend on it, but we choose to use the heat of fire. This is going to be a very sleepless time for us. I get up about every 2.5 to 3 hours because the fires need tending, and you got to restoke it because the fire goes out, the heat goes out, and then the furnace kicks on, and then you're paying money. So keep that in mind if you're if you're going to be living off the land and all that kind of stuff. Your fires will have to have attention and plenty of fuel for them to produce the amount of heat that they need to keep your place warm. We have the heat exchanger coming into this end of the house, and then back in at that end of the house, the far end of the house, we have a little fireplace that was it was built into the house. We have a manufactured home, and it's one of the ones that was built into the house when they built it, like a little decorative fireplace. It's kind of a small one, but it does put off enough heat to keep it bearable back there in my bedroom. So we have the 2 fires that I'm always tending at this time of year as well. So just something else to consider if you're somebody who is looking to get out of the rat race and live a self-sustaining, self-sufficient life, and you plan on burning wood for heat. Remember, that takes a lot of work to get a lot of wood, and then you're not going to get a whole lot of sleep when there's really, really cold nights because you're going to be up a few times every night keeping your place warm and keeping the house warm. I get up now about an hour or so before I get the kids up for school, so I got plenty of time to make sure that the fires are good and stoked, putting out a lot of heat so that the kids don't have to get out of their beds into a cold house. I try to keep it warm like that. So, anywho, I reckon that's it for now. You guys feel free to ask more questions. If I don't answer them immediately, keep in mind we do stuff all day. I mean, and I'm not always sitting in front of my computer. So if you send a message and ask a question and I don't respond for 3 days or something, please don't think that I am so arrogant that I'm blowing you off, because I'm really not. I just sometimes I come in and I go to bed. I'm in bed asleep by 8:30, and then I got to get up a couple times a night, and I just don't sit in front of my computer. So I'm just not. It's not like I make a video about doing something, then I go sit in the house all the rest of the day. We're outside, and if you ask me a question and I don't get back to you right away, please bear with me. Or if you ask a question in the comment section and I miss it, please forgive me. I really do not blow anybody off. To me, that is arrogant, and I will never ever be that way. I'll try to do the best I can to keep up with everything, but I just simply can't keep up with everything. So, the best way to send me a question is via a private message, either on YouTube or on Facebook, and then bear with me for a couple of days until I can get to where I have a chance to sit down and go through them and get back with you. Alright, I guess I'm going to end it there because we got some stuff I got to get doing here. You guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope everybody is doing well. Please prepare for the upcoming storm this weekend. Today is 20 January 2016. So this coming weekend is supposed to be pretty bad across the eastern part of the United States. Hope everybody's ready, and I hope everybody fares well through the storm and the cold. So, have a great day, y'all. God bless. The end. Buzz, buzz. The end.